He had tweeted pointing out fingers to some particular people in case he died.
Mohbad's death has mirrored our society.
The question of who killed Mohbad has raised a cosmic traffic on social media. This question has seemed to be bothering the minds of lots of concerned citizens and fans across the globe. Celebrities, fans have taken up the news of Mohbad's demise, demanding justice, with peaceful protests happening in most states in Nigeria and other international cities. With me today is a colleague YouTuber, a very beautiful and intelligent lady. We are going to be discussing a trending topic in the face of social media, especially in Africa, the brouhaha around the demise of a popular Nigerian musician, Mohbad. Before we dive into the topic, we'll be giving you a brief bio about Mohbad.
Ilerioluwa Oladimeji Aloba, popularly known as Mohbad, was born on the 8th of June 1996 in Lagos, Nigeria, West Africa. He sadly passed away on the 12th of September 2023. Mohbad was a Nigerian rapper, singer and songwriter from Lagos. He was best known for his hit songs.
Stepmother no care. Landlord do they worry.
Waiting be this one like this. Been through many things, many gist. Oh, I still I don't work it I don't pray it I don't go on the enemy. Oh, bad. We didn't follow.
Hi Kashmana.
Hi Fatima.
How are you today?
Very well, thank you.
Thank you so much for honoring my invitation and being on my channel. We are so grateful to have you.
The pleasure is all mine, Fatima. You don't know how much this means to me to be here with you. You know, when they say, oh,
she's so sweet, isn't she?
No, really?
To kickstart, it all started on the 12th of September 2023 when it was reported that the popular 27-year-old Mohbad, who is a Nigerian musician, had passed away due to an ear infection and a nurse administering a tetanus vaccination on him. And actually, based on the information on social media, I mean, they waited for him to recover after the administration of the vaccine, and he never did. I think later, somewhere 19th of September, a few days after, was allegedly reported again that the supposed nurse that had administered the tetanus vaccine on him was unlicensed. So based on that, how was the reaction?
I first saw it when I opened my phone. Usually I don't check my phone till about noon. So I was in the kitchen trying to have a cup of tea, and then I just scrolled and then I saw Mohbad is dead. You know when you go to the explore page and it was all over the place. So I tried to remember. I said, is it the same guy who sang this song Kopoke? You know the Gen Z generation. I have a younger sister who hooked me up with Mohbad because of his songs and all that. And I said, this guy is so young. What happened? Then I realized that everybody was also asking the same question. What happened? Who killed Mohbad? What must have led to his demise? The videos I saw that pointed towards bullying, abuse and all that broke my heart. It is one thing that we lost Mohbad, it's another thing to see the level of bullying and the level of silence culture
That the boy went through.
through.
Looking at the whole situation and what even led to his death, is that not a case of negligence in the side of the hospital?
So when I heard that Mohbad died as a result of the tetanus injection being administered by the alleged nurse who is not licensed, I wasn't surprised, Fatima, because we live in a society, or we both are Africans, and we know what our society is like. We have seen the worst, we have seen so much. So I wasn't surprised, but I was still heartbroken.
is a wake-up call for Africans and for everyone who has a voice to ensure that these hospitals are doing due diligence and are doing the right thing. Because you not being surprised means that it's possible for unlicensed nurses to operate in hospitals, and that is unacceptable. But we don't have to have a breakthrough for everything that we want. So it looks like if you have money in Africa, if you have popularity in Africa, you have power. And once you have power, whatever you want to do, whether it's bad or good, you can find a way to do it, which should be unacceptable.
This is one very big picture that has painted what our society looks like. This Mohbad's death has mirrored our society. You find unlicensed nurses in the hospital. You find bullying across board in institutions, in government institutions, in private institutions, schools.
It really touched my heart when you said the situation around Mohbad is actually something that mirrored our lifestyle or our culture in Africa.
The fiber of the society is the family. The family weaves society. Now, if you look at the Mohbad case, you ask yourself, where was his family in all of this? Even as we speak, Fatima, I don't think there's any concrete statement from his wife, let me talk about his father and mother, to say, oh, this was what our son was going through. This is the history of our son. This was what these are some of the effort that we made to make sure we call the attention of the authorities. The only evidence we have in the social media space now is when Mohbad went to the police after he was being bullied several times by Sam Larry. The video we saw, the video of Sam Larry coming with some boys holding weapons, when he went to the police to make a police report.
Yeah.
That is the only evidence we have in the social media space. And what did the police do about it, Fatima? You know what the police people are like in our society.
It's sad.
These guys that made that short video announcing his death. Where were they coming from? Where did they pick Mohbad from, and where were they going to?
Exactly. Also, which hospital facility confirmed him dead? These are raising questions that the fans and the concerned citizens need answers to. The hospital that was tagged as where Mohbad passed away issued a statement following the rumors on social media, declaring that the demise body was never a client of the hospital, that he was brought in dead on arrival. Where did he die then?
That's a big question that I've been begging for answers since that statement was issued.
And the particular nurse that was said to have administered the tetanus vaccination from the hospital official statement is saying that such nurse never works in their hospital. No nurse administered any tetanus on him.
You see
so
what
if these reporters are actually right, did the nurse do home visit service, or did they go to the nurse home? Or there's a lot of contradictions around where and how he died. It's not like we are just social media users. The father of the demise is so much involved in social media interviews and everything. His families are also seriously seeking for what would cause his death. And like I said, a wake-up call for Africans.
We can see clearly that there are so many fingers pointing towards Naira Marley and Sam Larry. Why do you think this is happening?
Based on the videos of the late Mohbad, may his soul rest in peace, prevailing on social media. There have been so many videos of bullying and threatening of the young boy when he was alive.
Is it not interesting that in a very big industry like the entertainment industry in Nigeria, you will find a small boy, a boy of 27 years, being bullied by a few individuals, and everybody around him pretended not to know what was going on.
I don't believe people never knew what was going on. And you knew the boy, this musician. A lot of us did not know who he was. I would personally say his music traveled more than he personally traveled. But the thing is, what the boy was going through, he never conceded. He was on the face of social media. He had tweeted, he had made videos of how he was bullied and pointing out fingers to some particular people. In case he died, these people might be the cause of his death.
Guy, whoa, Amalia me now, Amalia kill me. I beg, if I die like this.
Oh, guys, stop this now. What's wrong with you?
I beg, I never started talk. No worry. Make sure they go our house.
But Cash Mona, it's not just Sam Larry and Naira Marley that are being tagged as suspects. The wife is actually tagged as a suspect.
Everybody, in my own opinion, should be a suspect. It doesn't matter how close you were to him, because when they say you are a suspect, doesn't mean that you've been convicted. It just means that, in my opinion, you should be forwardcoming with whatever information that you have that will help in the case, And what also makes her a suspect, I think, is because of the voice recording that somehow found its way into social media space, where her husband was saying that, oh, you think, it was Mohbad's voice we heard. I don't know how true it is because I can't authenticate the voice note of the conversation that was going on, where he said, oh, you think if you kill me, you get away with it and all that. He also spoke about a cloth that he said she put over his head. Also, there have been rumors, suggesting that she had an affair with Sam Larry, allegedly, I don't know how true that information is. And that is why some people are demanding for DNA. Do you think it is right for anybody to demand for DNA?
Let me just say that I don't wish for anybody to go through what the lady is going through. I mean, Mohbad's wife. In critical situation like this, you cannot avoid any possibility. So I just urge her to guard her mental state and ensure that she does not fall into depression, and just know that this is what it is. Because her husband's death is a situation that a lot of people have shown interest in, to the extent that they have to exhume his body from the ground.
The investigative team will decide how the investigation will go. As people come forward to give their own account of their relationship and dealings with Mohbad, they will decide what information they need, if they need a DNA test or whatever. So social media definitely does not have the final say.
We wouldn't just say it's a rumors on social media, because social media has power. I think it's through social media that there's a set up investigation team on Mohbad's case. It's through social media that there was a need to exhume his body for an autopsy. So if social media is requesting for DNA, we have to see the possibility of the DNA being happening or not.
Social media has played a huge part to where we are today as regards seeking for justice for Mohbad. Mohbad's father is an interesting character, in my opinion. I have watched some of his interviews.
He granted one interview with a TikToker on that very morning that his son was buried, and I felt like that time was the peak moment of his mourning, and granting that interview was unnecessary. He didn't have to explain anything to anybody at that moment that he was in so much grief.
Since Mohbad, you're talking about a celebrity, people will want to know, people will want to hear from the family. So I don't think it is entirely out of place that he granted those interviews.
What is even concerning to me was the atmosphere at the burial center. There was no epitome of respect, in my opinion, during the burial.
Absolutely, I agree with you,
A
Fatima.
lot of people, and I think the people that were there at the burial, most of them were more concerned about content.
Fatima, when you can't talk about people respecting Mohbad, respecting the corpse, when the parent, even when the father has decided to bury his son, bend his neck in a small casket, let me even assume that the father was not involved in the whole process. There should be a family member who will say no to that nonsense. And I am so glad that we're finally doing the right thing now, getting a decent casket for him.
There have been a drama about it, but I'm wondering why it should be an issue, because these people have always been carrying us along the journey. Now that they have gone to get a casket, it's good that they carry us on that part as well. If he's getting a new and a befitting casket, we should know these people are incredible 2 women that have gathered courage to come out and seek justice for this man, and I applaud them for that, to be honest.
Any process that is transparent, I am all for it.
And I just want to say a very big thank you to Cash Mana for honoring my channel today. You have been so insightful. We have learned so much from you on this topic, and we hope that you honor more of our invitation henceforth. Thank you. I will not forget to add that if you subscribe to my channel, like, share and comment, you are supporting me, and I do not take that for granted.